Bonnie and I were living in Newtown, Pennsylvania. We found a church. We hadn't been going to church at all, ever, pretty much. And we found a church called the Pebble Hill Church. And the minister was Gordon Drott. And the moment I walked in, he walked right up to me, as I'm sure he had to many others, and said, "What do you do and what can you do for us?" I said, "Well, I'm directing theater and I sing." And he said, "You sing?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Do you know Cat Stevens?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Next Sunday, I want you to perform Peace Train for us." No one had ever come that just right away and said, "What do you do?" And when I got to Brattleboro, I said, "Bonnie, we've got to find Pebble Hill Church, and where is it?" And I don't know how, somebody said, "Oh, well, Pebble Hill Church in Brattleboro, Vermont is the West Village Meeting House." So we went there, and sure enough, absolutely the same and totally different. But over time, a fellow came through, and I'm thinking of Tony Atchison, people that I know now, Levinson, but in particular, Peter Denny had a real theatrical bent. And so he and I kind of became friends. And he said, "Hey, there's this book called The Clown of God. Let's do it." And I said, "Terrific." So he said, "All right, I will tell the story and you act it out." And that began a partnership. We actually toured that show, the two of us, around Vermont. We toured it to
Steve Stearns,
Woodstock and up to Rutland and places. So the West Village Meeting House was really a central part. And I decided I wanted to direct a play, like maybe I'd done in college, and decided, let's do Noah's Ark. And there was this woman named Kathy Stockman there, and she was very purposeful, very strict, and very on the money in a very good way. And she came into me and she said, "You have no idea how to run a rehearsal. You have no idea how to do theater with kids." And I said, "Yeah, I'm having terrible trouble." She said, "Well, let's meet in the office after today, and I'm going to teach you some of the things." And that was the foundation of a complete shift from working with adults in theater and to working with kids. So the meeting house kind of turned me around. Not to mention that it was it actually wasn't where I met Peter Gould, but it was definitely part of the sanctuary movement. And Peter changed my life by introducing me to Central America and all the conflicts in El Salvador and so forth. And then we partnered with a number of organizations, he and I, and West Village, and the Congregational Church and so on, to bring Oris and Zymeri and all these kids up here. And that's another adventure. So